Hey guys, it's Miss Katz, and today I'm going to really quickly go over the Unit 6 study guide. I'm going to redo all the problems and make sure you guys understand them. So we're going to jump right in. We're starting with question number 4 because questions 1 and 2 ask for your names and question 3 asks what period you were in. So the first actual question of the study guide is question number 4. So let's dive right in. It says that at the last 5 basketball games, Simone scored the following points: 12, 15, 9, 11, and 8. First, we want to know the mean. That should be the word that you pay attention to. Well, before I do anything with this data, I would really like to put these numbers in order. That way, no matter what I need them for today, I will have them. So they're going to go in order: 8, 9, 11, 12, 15. Okay? Now, to get the mean, I really don't need them in order, but it's a good habit to get into because most of the time kids make mistakes when they don't put their data in order. So let's get to the mean. We're going to add up all of those numbers. And since there are 5 numbers in our set, we're going to divide by 5. And when we do that, we get that the mean is 11. So remember, we got 55 when we added. We divide by 5 because there are 5 numbers in our set. And that's where the 11 came from. Now, the nice thing about question number 5 is it uses that exact same data, and the order was already established for us in the last problem. Now it's just asking for the median. Well, the median is the middle number when they're in order. So since there are 5 pieces of data, the even number that comes before 5 is 4. Half of 4 is 2. So we know 2 are going to be on one side, 2 on the other. That leaves us with 11 as our median. Question number 6 relies on this exact same data set. So again, I'm going to list them just so I have them in order. And I want to know the mode. Well, is there a number here that repeats itself more than any other? No. So in that case, there is no mode. Okay, move on to question number 7. Let me just stack this up for me. Question number 7, let me make sure I'm in the right spot, says that at the last 5 basketball games, Simone scored the following points. Again, we're dealing with that same set of numbers, so I'm just going to rewrite them here. Now on your paper, you probably only wrote them once. I'm just writing them so that we have them in front of us. We want to know the range. So for the range, we're going to take the highest number in our set and the lowest number, and we're going to subtract them. So 15 minus 8 equals 7. 7 is the range. All right, let's move on to the next question. How many flowers were less than 25 inches in height? Well, here's what I recommend. The first thing I would do if this were my paper is I'm going to just find out how many people chose each section. So there are a number of flowers, not people, how many flowers. There are numbers of flowers and there are their heights. In the height range of 1 to 12, based on where this line is, there were 5 flowers that were between 1 and 12 inches. When we go to this one, it goes up to 11 flowers that were between 13 and 24 inches. Here we get 8 flowers, and here we get 3, I do believe. So when we do that, we want to know how many flowers were less than 25. Well, 25 breaks off here. So these 2 groups will be less than 25, and 11 plus 5 equals 16. So there are 16 flowers that are less than 25 inches tall. All right, let's take a look at question number 9. How many flowers are in the 25 to 36 interval? And I'm realizing now that you don't see the picture. That would be a problem if you're trying, but it is in the same histogram. So hopefully you'll be able to look above you. I'm going to go fix that in just a second. But how many points are in the 25 or flowers are in the 25 to 36 interval? Well, we already identified that there were 8 of them. So 8 flowers were between 25 and 36 inches tall. Okay. Question number 10 says, how many flowers are at least 13 inches tall? So again, I'm just going to put our numbers in here since we've already calculated those. We have 5, 11, 8, and 3. If we want to know that they were at least 13 inches tall, that's this group and going forward. So we have to add all of these. 11 plus 8 is 19, plus 3 is 22. So 11 plus 8 plus 3. All 3 groups are bigger or taller than 13 inches. Okay? So that should equal 22. Which interval had the fewest number of flowers? Well, you don't even have to have those numbers to see it. This is the smallest bar, so the 37 to 48 interval is the smallest group that we've got. Okay. Question number 12. Is the following question statistical or not? We're going to go through these pretty quick. How many times has each is a very key word here, of my classmates been to the beach? If we're asking a bunch of different people, we could get lots of different answers, so this is a statistical question. Is the following a statistical question? How many kids does Mrs. Katz teach? Well, at any time that you ask that question, the answer is going to be a single number. There's only a certain number of students that I teach, so this is not a statistical question. Now, if we had said, how many kids did Mrs. Katz teach each of the last 10 years, each helps make that. We're looking at different data. But because we're asking at that moment, how many kids do I teach? That is not a statistical question. In question 14, is the following question statistical or not? How many pairs of pants does each of my family members own? That is a statistical question because I'm going to ask each person and we will get a variety of answers. And number 15, is the following question statistical or not? How many ice cream shops are in each town in Georgia? That word each keeps coming back up. That makes it statistical because when we ask all the different towns that are in Georgia, we're going to get a different number, and we could get different responses for how many kids or how many ice cream shops there are in that town. Okay? We're going to go on to question number 16 here. Is the following question statistical or not? How many songs are on Josiah's iPod? Well, the answer is it's not, because at any given moment when you ask Josiah that question, you're going to find out that the answer is a singular number. There's only one response that would work. All right, let's take a look at question number 17. The number of runs scored. So each of these represents a person who scored runs. Okay, this person scored 1 run, this one scored 1, this guy scored 7 runs, and so did these guys. The question is, what is the mode of the data? So the majority of the people who answered or who were involved in this survey scored 5 runs. So that is the mode. Okay, the 5 is the highest bar that we've got in our dot plot or our line plot. What is the range? Okay, well the biggest number of runs that somebody scored was 7. And the smallest number of runs that somebody scored was 1. So our range is going to be 6. Okay. Moving on to question number 19. Now we want the mean of the run score. Now that's going to take a little bit of work, but it's not that big a deal. Each of these people had a certain number of runs they scored. These people each had 1. So for a grand total, this column has 2 runs total. When you look at number 3, one person had 3. So there's a grand total of 3. Each of these people had 4 runs that they scored. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 people times the 4 runs is a total of 20 runs. These are all 5s. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Well, 6 times 5 is 30 runs. These are all 6s. And 6 times 4 is 24. And these are all 7s. And 7 times 3 is 21. So we are going to go to make all of these, we're going to add all these up. 2 plus 3 plus 20 plus 30 plus 24 plus 21. That's a grand total of 100. So that's our total when we add them. Now we got to figure out how many people were surveyed in this survey. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we are going to divide by 21. And when you do that, you get this on the calculator. And notice that we have a 4.76. We do not round this up because the place value right after the 6 is 1, and it does not bump that number up. So the correct answer for the mean is 4.76. And then the last question a lot of you guys missed, it looks like which measure of center is most affected by an outlier? It's always the mean. The mean changes the most when you have an outlier. All right, I hope this helped and you guys are getting ready because tomorrow you will be working on part 2 of the Unit 6 study guide. Have a great day.